Here's a quick walkthrough of making your first simple plot in Grafana using the Z Data Source plugin. We're on an Ubuntu 22 VM and have completed the base Grafana installation using the steps in the Grafana docs. Next, we'll install the latest version of the Z Grafana plugin directly from the Grafana Z Data Source repository on GitHub by cutting and pasting the command shown in the README. Then we'll edit the main grafana.ini config file to allow the plugin to run unsigned. After finding the config line for unsigned plugins, we remove the leading semicolon to uncomment, then add the plugin's ID, which is brimdata Z Data Source. Now we'll restart the Grafana server, so our config change will take effect and the plugin will load. To confirm the plugin loaded successfully, we can check the system log. Before we jump to Grafana, let's also prepare some test data to plot. We'll start Zui, our Z user interface, since that starts a Z lake right here on our desktop. We'll cut and paste the command line from the README that will generate some simple ZSON format test data consisting of 10 timestamped data points of incrementing numeric values and save it to the file name data.zson. We'll make a new pool in Zui by importing the data from the file. We can see the data points in Zui. Now we can access Grafana, which by default will be on port 3000 of localhost. Since this is a fresh install, we'll enter login and password of admin and skip setting a new password. We can add the Z plugin to our active data sources by clicking to Administration, Data Sources, Add Data Source, then scroll down and find and click on the entry for Z. Since we're accessing the lake behind our local Zui, we can stick with the default settings. Clicking Save and Test confirms everything is working, as this queries the version endpoint of the Z lake and retrieves the lake version, which we can see here is 1.8. We're all set to use the plugin in a dashboard. We'll navigate to Dashboards, click New Dashboard, and click to add our first visualization. Since it's our only configured data source, we can see the blank dashboard panel already has the Z plugin selected. We can also see an error message is waiting for us. In this case, it's informing us that we need to specify a pool from which to query data. And to help us out, it shows the current list of pools in the Z lake. Other errors will appear in this same spot if the plugin has difficulty gathering points with your Z queries. We enter the pool name from which we want to pull data, and in this simple example, that's all we need to do. The data we generated already has a field of Z's time type called TS, and we want to have the plugin pull all points, so the default wildcard query will do the trick. As is often the case in Grafana, you'll probably need to edit the dashboard's time range or click and drag to zoom in and see the data points at the ideal granularity. That covers the basics. Continue on through the README to see more sophisticated examples that you can apply to plotting your real-world data. Thanks for watching.